mean, we really revolutionized. I know I mentioned this last time, but it's crazy because it's like I'm still thinking of more things. It's like we used to be the Richmond Braves, our double A minor or triple A minor baseball team.
Oh, so
We
y'all
were
used to be
the
racist too.
we were the Richmond Braves, but now we're the Richmond Flying Squirrels. And it's like we really changed everything as far because we're the capital of the Confederacy. You know what I'm
Right.
Yes,
saying?
y'all were. Yes,
Jefferson
y'all were.
Jefferson Davis.
Y'all were who
Jefferson Davis, baby.
y'all were who my man was trying to get to, and he just couldn't get to y'all. And by the time he got to y'all, it was already over. It was already
You know what I'm saying?
the war had
So
been over.
All
They had
right.
lost the
Well,
war.
since you brought that up, here's a question for Rez. Um, so I know that you were one of the people like in our group, going back to the real sports days that
Sure,
that was kind of outspoken about the redskin thing, like hey, this is racist, get rid of the name, all that
for
stuff.
sure, for
um
sure.
so how do you feel about names like the Chiefs and the Braves? Like, do those fall under that same umbrella, or are they
They,
generic enough that they don't?
they don't, because those names pay homage to the actual organization, to the actual the tribes. So like the Braves not only like the Brave was like a was a it's not a pejorative term.
Hmm.
yeah, it wasn't derogatory.
Chief isn't a pejorative term. Now the mascot they used to have for the Chiefs was pejorative, so they got rid of
Okay.
it. But like the Indians, the smiling, grinning Indian
Oh,
that was on, yeah,
oh,
that was terrible. Yeah, that was
oh,
awful. Um,
Chief
like
Wahoo.
so like even like the Seminoles have a relationship with the actual Seminole tribe.
Hmm.
So like stuff like that, is in bounds. But when you're talking about something that can be even can be perceived as a slur, you should
Hmm.
just do it. Just because it's just like we wouldn't walk around with the mighty kikes or the
So,
wetbacks. Like, you know what I mean? Like that would be a
For
weird
sure.
thing, right?
so what about teams that have, I guess, tribe names as their mascot? Like, are you okay with the name no mascot, or are you okay with just getting rid of the name and altogether?
I think in the case of the Redskins, they had to. I think in the case of the Redskins, they had to. But what they would do, what they were doing with that conversation, which was really, really, really sick, is there's a lot of white people that are Native Americans that
Yep.
have assimilated into white culture and can play Native American when they feel like it. And the time they decide to play Native American is when stuff like that comes up.
To protect the
Uh-huh.
fucking Redskins.
Well,
I
because I
went to
know.
there's this place called there's a Natchez tribe that is like 15 minutes from my house, right? There's like a Natchez reservation, like 15 minutes from my house.
Uh-huh.
And like when you go there, it's mostly white people.
Interesting.
Full
They're like
stop.
they're like, oh, we're here because we're Native American. Our culture is Native American. Da 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 da. We Natchez tribe, and those are people that when they're like, oh, we polled 75 Native Americans. Where did you poll them at?
Yeah, word.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yeah, so like stuff like that. I just think if it even has the opportunity to be perceived as derogatory, especially towards an entire like race, yeah, we should probably do that.
Yeah, because I know.
Because honestly, what sentimental value do you have to the name of a? Because I mean, if they were to find a reason to change the Patriots, which I would be hard to believe, but it's like,
Nah,
bro,
Patriots a good
it's the
name.
Redskins though. What physical attachment do you have to Redskin that make you feel like, bro, why would you want to change the name of my team? Oh
I
my
think
god.
that people just hate change. We're creatures of habit, and you've known something your whole life, and
People
that
hate change that doesn't impact them.
right, and when you're used to something that you've been attached to your whole life, you've been buying merchandise, wearing jerseys, hats, those type of things. I think that it's just harder to step back and look at the full picture because like you feel like a lot of people live through their sports teams.
Hmm.
For sure.
So when you change that name, it feels like you changed some of their own identity
But
at
you lost some of your identity, and I get it, except for the fact that your actual existence is an infringement on somebody else's identity.
right. Exactly. And I know North Dakota, their college football team, not North Dakota State, but just University of North Dakota, they were referred to as the Fighting Sioux at one time. And that was
Hmm.
why I brought it up, like the tribe stuff, because they were known as the Fighting Sioux. So then they're now the Fighting Hawks, and then you had the
So it sounds
Illinois.
like they didn't have. It sounds like they didn't have a relationship with the actual tribe.
Right. Then you have Illinois, the Fighting Illini,
Uh-huh.
who they didn't change their name, but they got rid of Chief Alana
What?
Wick.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, which was their mascot. So they kept the name but got rid of the mascot. So that was why I asked that question. But I also know that with Florida State, since you brought up the Seminoles, Florida State has that relationship with the tribe, and also to the point where the guy, Chief Osceola, the guy that rides out on the horse Renegade every week and throws the spear down, there's a requirement that the person that does that has to be at least a quarter Seminole.
See,
but the other side of that is that there's a big Seminole population in Oklahoma, and those Seminoles are upset still about Florida State, and I think
wow, no, I didn't know that.
And I think that boils down to the Seminole tribe of Florida is receiving money for it, and the Seminole tribe of Oklahoma is not.
Yes, it does.
That's what I think that boils down to. Yeah,
absolutely does. Yeah, I mean that's the part of like even that is a byproduct of our country's culture, our country's history, right? The fact that they chase people from this country, from their native area of Florida, all the way to Oklahoma, and now those that they are separated and they have completely two different ways of life and two different things that they accept based on our history, like stuff like that. I mean, it makes it all very cumbersome and hard to navigate. And like, it's another C word I'm trying to think of, but it makes it all very like hard to navigate and sort of figure out what's right. So for me, I always just lean on like if it's something that's offensive to people, like if it's offensive to you because you didn't get money for it and other people got money for it, that's a you problem.
right.
But like if it's offensive because like it's a negative term, like the simple name Seminole is not a negative thing.
Right. And I mean, I've always struggled with and I know people that know me probably won't believe me when I say this. but I've struggled with the war chant sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because
the war chant's definitely a problem.
And I mean, and admittedly, that's more of an older Mike thing, like as I age now and, look at the world through a different lens, because the war chant was the reason I became a fan of Florida State, because I was a 7-8-year-old little kid and they were just making all this noise. And, I didn't understand the dynamics that went along with it. But, now that I get a little older, and we're having more conversations about things like cultural appropriation, that's where I kind of look at it and go, "Ooh, that's kind of nasty."
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, even with the Chiefs, like I remember when Bomani Jones was talking about it, and he was saying, the Chiefs had it, when they won that Bowl, and he
got some technical difficulties.
Did we lose Residente?
Can y'all hear me?
We got you.
Yeah,
we can hear you. You good now?
All right, there you go. Sorry, my phone rang. But yeah, I remember he was saying like they won that first Super Bowl, and they're like, okay, this is an opportunity. This is their first Super Bowl. They have an opportunity to not do it, and they did it. They started the chant. And it was like, y'all didn't have to do this. Like
right.
It doesn't add anything to the team.
Losing them again.
Yeah.
Losing them again.
Well, yeah, but like I said, as I get older, it's something that I think I'm more aware of. Because and that was kind of not the transition just yet, but when we were talking about the Caitlin Clark Angel Reese thing yesterday, that was a part of where I was coming from, where sometimes we get caught up in things that offend us, but we don't always offensive is offensive, regardless of who it offends. But obviously, you're going to have more sensitivity to things that offend you than offend anybody else. So I think that's where sometimes we lose that capital, because I forgot who it was last night that kept making the comment of well, white people do this. And I was like, yeah, but you can't call them evil and say that they're bad while emulating their behavior.
That sounds like a lethal point.
Yeah, I think it might have been. I don't remember who said it. I don't remember who said it, but that was my response. So that's why I like when Rez was talking about, you know, it was something that I didn't think about when I was younger because
Yeah.
I was just sitting up here like, he said the N-word, he said this, he said that, he did this. That was
It's
what I was
offensive to me.
concerned about. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
right.
saying?
But
Whereas,
but that also becomes the issue, right? Even we can expand this out beyond sports, just into political culture and everything. People are offended at the fact that you say that you are offended by things. And like, why won't you let me offend you? It doesn't offend me, but as soon as I say the thing that offends you, now you're triggered, and now you can't say that. You can't say that. That's offensive to me. Like, whoa. Because if somebody walked around making anti-Christian mascots, no one would allow that to happen,
Well,
right.
right?
just I don't know if this is taking it left or anything like that. Well, just based off what y'all are saying, like you know what I'm saying about how people are easily offended. Do y'all agree with the line of thought like when Morgan Freeman says like the only way to get rid of racism and stuff like that is just like stop talking about it? Like
No,
No, that's not the answer at all.
that's not it at all.
okay, I'll just
Like
I'll take it.
you can't move on from something until you have closure, you know,
So
or you know,
yeah, I completely disagree with that as a thought, and I wish people would not say it.
For
Um,
sure, I agree.
because like, okay, cool. So we're not going to talk about racism. If somebody comes into your facility and berates you based on your race, and we just say, well, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, for
right.
sure.
We're just going
Or
to
like treat it
ignore
like
that.
it's an isolated incident. You know what I'm saying? Like
But
it's
there
it's
aren't
not
isolated
though.
incidents
No,
because
but
they
I'm
have root
saying
causes.
yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
I'm saying though,
Nah,
as if it's like a one-off, or like you know what I'm
yeah.
saying, like there are
Yeah.
crazy people out there. Like no, there are there are root causes, and there are things that are going on, even like microaggressions that you don't notice that are
Yeah.
at play that allow this to happen.
No, I think so. For me, it's. I think we make too many things about race. I think
For
Uh-huh.
that's where
sure.
the problem comes in. We make things that are absolutely have nothing to do with race. When I was a teacher, I remember I'd have students that were like, "Yo, this teacher don't like me because I'm black," and I'd be like, "No, like most of the
Hmm.
teachers, students are black just like you. This is a majority black school. 75% of the teachers' students are black, and you are one of them, and they have a problem with you because of you and the way you act. It's not
Right.
because you're black." And so, like stuff like that is when it's like, okay, dog. Or you go to a restaurant, you get bad service. I got bad service because I was black. No,
Hmm.
there's other black people here that are getting served just fine. You just have a bad waitress, or or maybe your attitude wasn't the right one when you came to it. But like that becomes their default. I think that is what hurts. Like actual like working on race relations. That part is on one side, and then the other side is people who just don't care about being racist and actually go out their way to be racist.
Mm-hmm.
For
Mm-hmm.
sure.
And that was kind of what I was bringing up with the Angel Caitlin conversation last night is that just reverse the situation, like make Angel Caitlin and make reverse. And if it was playing out the same way, people would be calling Caitlin racist. They would be saying like she ain't shit. Like the league need to do something.
Yeah,
But if somebody makes a comment and says, "Hey, Angel treats Caitlin XYZ," it turns into, "Don't paint her as an angry black woman. Don't do that." It's like you can't win either way because they're going to find a way to interject that into the conversation. Like
and that
what it is
yeah.
two basketball players just simply don't like each other.
Don't like each other,
And
and that's
Competition.
okay.
Yeah.
because we saw and I only thought about this because the Knicks and Pacers are playing each other right now, but we had games. I know y'all saw Winning Time.
Definitely.
You saw John Starks headbutt Reggie Miller. Patrick Ewing was talking shit about Reggie Miller the other night. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? And even with that being said, Reggie Miller was on the commentary, and I thought he did a really good job of not being biased. But
yeah,
then when Tyrese hit that shot, those old feelings came out, because
yeah,
he is human. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But I think that the collective looks at that and they're like, that's rivalry. That's what I miss in my NBA. These players get along too well. But then when we
yeah.
see Angel and Caitlin do it, it's like, yo, women ain't supposed to be acting like that. And we come down on the behavior that we love on this side.
for sure. And I mean, the whole Clark and Reese thing. I wish it wouldn't have gone to anything outside of the fact that they were being competitive. Like, because if Anthony Edwards would have gave fucking Luka Doncic a hard foul, nobody would have been like, oh, well, you don't know what it's like to be in the house with a black man, so you don't know what it's like for him to go out there and want to defend himself in hard foul like that. Like, bro, nobody would have ever tried to interject on something like that. So it's just, I just wish it would have stayed sports. Like,
well, the problem is that there's people like you and I that the world doesn't know. You know what I'm saying? And let me rephrase that: the world don't know us yet. Yeah. But you got people that have huge platforms. Your people like Dave Portnoy and people of that ilk that when Angel did the thing with the ring finger, they turned that into this chick is ghetto and whatever, blah, 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 blah. And they have these platforms that thousands and up to millions of people follow. And that's what they see and they run with. You know what I mean? Like if Dave Portnoy would have just said something along the lines of like, oh man, the heat of battle, like you gotta love it, then people would have been positive about it.
Right.
But that's where sometimes people miss the point because you get into these words like she's ghetto. Like, why'd you choose that word? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if you remember. Why. I don't know. Well, no, I know exactly why. But I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember Marshall Henderson. He was a basketball player for Ole Miss, and Rez might remember. You remember a dude named Marshall Henderson played basketball for Ole Miss?
I would never remember anything about Ole Miss.
Well, this dude, right? He was a white dude, right? Little, like probably 5'10", but he was a really good 3-point shooter, and he would every shot that he would hit. He'll run back on defense and he'll like stop at half court and just be like tugging at his jersey, acting nuts.
Oh, yeah, I do remember him.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the player. I remember him. I remember him though. Yeah, I do remember that kid. I remember
people referring to him as ghetto or, like people might be like, why you doing that? Or act like you've been there before, play the game the right way, that type of stuff. But I don't think people overextended it to the point of he's ghetto. And that's where the problem comes in.
So the issue with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese out the gate is it's people love the opportunity to play race wars, right? So white women have been waiting for somebody like Caitlin. I won't say white women. White people have been waiting for somebody like Caitlin Clark for a very long time. So a white person that would dominate a majority black sport, right? And it can be a woman or a man. Like we haven't seen that with Cooper Flag yet, but we have yet to see what happens when he gets to the actual pros. But with Caitlin Clark, she's in Iowa. She's not a white girl that is like, she's not Paige Becker. She's not a white girl that's sort of like, I don't say kowtows, but like caters to black culture in the way that Paige Becker does, because she does have a black stepmom. So, she just only sees black culture. She speaks up for black culture in a way that white people aren't really that comfortable with, just being honest. Caitlin Clark sort of is a white girl that you'd imagine on the weekend goes hunting and she likes to fish and she camps and all of these things. She is the white person's white person. Sure. Even though she also has made comments about the fact that the WNBA and women's basketball has been built on the backs of black women. She's made comments like that, and they actually get mad at her when they make those kind of statements. But she waited a long time before she ever made those types of statements. So when she was in Iowa, she's doing that. She's in the heartland, what they call it, the breadbasket of America in Iowa. It's that whole thing, right? She has a team full of white girls. I don't think there's any black. I think there's one mixed girl on that team. I don't think outside that one mixed girl.
They got Aaliyah Boston.
No, I'm talking on the team that she was in college. I'm going back to college. Yeah. Right? So this was the white team that was led by the white star that was dominating the sport, right? Whether the domination actually led to a title or not, she was the focal point of women's college basketball for that period of time. And people flocked to that for that reason. And we know people who did not watch flocked to that for that reason. Shoot, there was black people that flocked to it for a reason, like, dog, she can't be that cold. And then you'd watch and be like, oh yeah, she's that cold. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what that became. For some reason, instead of going to people that were like somewhere near Caitlin's talent level, and there aren't many women on Caitlin's talent level, just being
Right,
100%, like keeping it a buck. Angel Reese decided to pop up and make herself the anti-Caitlyn. And it only became like, it was really weird because I'm like, this chick, she ain't averaging 20 points a game. Like, she's averaging a double-double. Like, but you can probably find, I'm pretty sure if you looked around college basketball, there was at least 20 to 30 players that averaged what Angel Reese averaged in college.
Well, I think Angel Reese took it upon herself to defend the honor of South Carolina.
No, I'm getting there, and she wasn't. And she wasn't, though. And that's the other part. Because she hated South Carolina.
But see, that's where
Angel Reese had more physical interactions with South Carolina than anybody else. Caitlyn did that one thing that time, and I hated that she did it. Because y'all know how I feel about the state of South Carolina, anything that comes from it. I hated that she did it. But when Angel Reese did it to bring attention to herself. And that's always been the issue with Angel Reese.
And I'm not trying to blame Angel Reese by any means when I say this, but that's when you enter the racial dynamic, because when Caitlyn did it, a lot of people's reaction was, yo, this white girl done lost her mind, like the way she treated these, it was that thing, right? Like, look at how she treated those black girls. And I think that as a young black woman, Angel Reese kind of took it upon herself, and this is just me speculating, took it upon herself to be like, nah, we got to represent. And you know what I mean? And when they won the title and she did the thing, because remember now, when Caitlyn did it to South Carolina, it was more organic, like in the moment, like, hey, like y'all.
No, Angel Reese planned
not
that.
only did she plan it, but she sought Caitlyn out. Like Caitlyn
out, and followed her
like towards her, and Angel beeline and walked over there like, bitch, look at this. You know what I'm saying?
Can somebody look up what Angel Reese scored in that title game?
I got you. But so I think Angel took it there, and that's when you could figure out like who watches basketball and who doesn't and all that stuff, because when Caitlyn
against
did it,
Iowa, she had 15, 10, and 5.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So is that a dominant game for anybody?
Caitlyn had 30 with 2 rebounds and 8 assists.
Yeah.
But
how many players from Angel Reese's that team?
Against Hawaii, she had 34 and 15. Against
Michigan, how many girls
she had 25 and 24?
How many girls from that Iowa team are playing in the WNBA?
I know Kate Martin is for sure. Maybe Gabby Marshall. Let me check it out.
And then I want somebody to look up how many girls from that LSU team are in the WNBA right now.
So let's see. So it looks like there's at least 4
from Iowa.
Yeah. Or
that's a high number. I'm shocked.
Hold on, this might be including older players too.
Yeah, that can't be right. There's no way 4 players from that team in the WNBA. I can think of another. I know one because one girl transferred out and ended up making it from another team.
No, Von Liff. Yeah, Haley Van Liff. She's in the NBA.
Yeah. She just came this Van year, though. Like, she's a rookie right now. Let's see. It looks like she is the only one right now. Yeah.
Caitlyn and Haley, right? That's what I thought. And then the LSU team.
I don't think anybody from the Yeah, I don't think.
Okay. So there's three. There's three. Iowa. So Caitlin Clark, Kate Martin, who I mentioned, and then Lucy Olson are in the WNBA right now.
I know Lucy Olson make it. Okay.
And then
Did Flau'jae get
Flau'jae's
drafted?
still in college.
Dog, that girl be in college.
I think
forever.
didn't she come to South Carolina?
Yeah, she's not. I don't think she at LSU no more.
No, she's not.
I thought she transferred.
I'd be shocked if she transferred to South Carolina after last year when she was so offended because they played her father's song after they lost.
It looks like she entered the portal, but then she came out. So she's back at so she's back at LSU right now. Yeah. But I knew she had entered the portal. Let's see, WNBA, right? So let's see, here we go. So you got Angel Reese, of course. Let's see here.
I want to say there's at least 5 players from that team in the WNBA.
There was a LaDasia Williams. She plays on Caitlin's team, actually, or she got drafted by the Fever. I don't know if she's still on the team. Mm-hmm. And then there is Anissa Morrow or Anessa Morrow. So about even.
So 3-3. All right. So my point was that I think we all look at the team in totality and say that the LSU team was much better than the Iowa team. If it was evenly matched, Caitlin would have put them over the top without question, right? So LSU won. She did that thing. So Angel Reese positioned herself as the anti-Caitlin at that time, right?
Right.
Then she went on to she was already doing the wearing the crown thing, which was always weird. But she would wear a physical, actual crown. She didn't do the LeBron thing where she did like the finger crowns. No. She wore an actual crown while averaging like 12 points a game in college. Like, okay, cool. So then, but she would always make like it's always been. It's sort of like in Cups. You identify with this. There are people who do activism, like they'll do black activism, but it's not about the actual cause at all. It's about drawing attention to them. And Angel Reese does that. So when she was like, I'm going to speak for the WNBA and we are walking if they're not going to give us the money that we deserve. And I'm like, how are you? How are you the person to make that statement?
Word.
Right.
Who made you the president of the CBA?
Yeah, who made you the spokesperson?
Word. Does the WNBA even have a CBA?
I'm sure they do.
Is Rez froze? It's probably froze. Did somebody try and burn out behind him? That was crazy. I heard that. Did you hear that shit?
Yeah, they have. So this was the thing. They have a CBA and it expires on Halloween.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So the season, of course, will be over by then. But
I just like.
Yeah. So
Asia Wilson can be that voice. Asia Wilson can say that.
Yeah.
There are people who can literally make that statement and it'd be like, okay, cool. But I promise you, I can't speak for y'all. I can speak for myself. I've never heard anybody say, "Yo, you checking out the Angel Reese game tonight?"
Not at once.
No, the only time I hear that is people might say, "Yo, Sky Fever tonight." And you know what I'm saying? And then a lot of times it's me that says it.
Hell yeah. 2 for our resident WNBA.
Because I'm all for it. Like, leave the race part out of it. Like, I'm just like, yo, Caitlin and Angel, we got drama tonight. You know, because even when you look at it, right? And because somebody like Paige, even though she's coming in as a rookie right now, Paige might be the person to compare to Caitlin because they even played ball together.
Yes.
I don't know if it was high school or women's AAU or whatever it was, but they have a history in a relationship. So if you want to make that comparison, fine.
And Paige actually different. Paige Becker's different.
No, for sure. But I think what happened was Angel took it, like Rez was saying, Angel took it upon herself to speak out about the CBA. Angel took it upon herself to respond for Black America when Caitlyn did the thing to South Carolina. So then it went on. So the white people, so the white people, like I mentioned, Dave Portnoy, people like that, they got upset because they felt that attachment to Caitlyn, you know, that tribalism. Like, look at her taking, like, just like white people do it with Luka sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, this guy is taking over this black dominated sport. Like he's an inspiration or whatever you want to call it. So people like him started calling Angel Reese ghetto, and I think that Angel Reese, being probably 21 at the time, you know, felt the need to be like, oh, that's how y'all gonna paint me.
But this is
that's
also
what y'all gonna get.
I mean,
but this is also why I hate. This is also why I hate when non-sports fans get into sports discussions, because they make it about everything about the actual games. The same thing I was saying last night. Like, if like this doesn't promote the game. Like, nothing about this makes people want to watch the WNBA.
For sure.
Right.
This isn't about basketball. And like, if we're gonna promote women's basketball, let's promote the actual basketball. I'm somebody who coached girls basketball. I actually want to watch women's basketball. So, and I want to engage in women's basketball discussions, but I want to talk about actual basketball.
Well, I think the WNBA has to do something about their eligibility rules. You know, because for the men, you know, like one and done. You know, but the girls have to stay through their junior, or at 3 years, they have to stay 3 years before they can be eligible. So, like, to your point about who on these teams made the WNBA, you know, Flo J could already be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, she averaged 20 last year.
The girl from South Carolina, on South Carolina anymore, but Fawali, you know, somebody like her, somebody like her could have probably been a one and done. Not saying that she's good enough, but just saying that somebody like that we have name value with, you know, could have went to the WNBA and we would be more interested. Because right now, Asia Wilson's been in the WNBA for what, 8-9 years now? And I would still argue that she's not necessarily a household name. You know, like, she's becoming a household name, but you know, but I don't think that if you say Asia Wilson to 80% of these people that we're talking about, they would just be like, she played for Vegas, and that might be it. You know what I mean? So I think that they missed the opportunity. Like, imagine last year, and, you know, knock on wood, get well Juju. But imagine if Juju could have came out after last year.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
I
and
agree.
you would have now you could do your comparison, even though it's still along racial lines, you could do your Juju Caitlin Clark comparison.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Juju's the one. If you're gonna compare somebody to Caitlin Clark, it's Juju. But even Juju wouldn't do it wouldn't be a disrespectful thing. You'd be like, yo, these people play basketball against each other. And maybe they don't like each other. Just going back to your original point, because I gotta get out here because we got to lunch. But like, what like, dang, you said it earlier. Oh man, the point you made earlier. Juju. Doug, you made a good point earlier. I'll try to come back to
one
it.
and done.
Yeah, no, it was something you said way earlier, like in the beginning, just about the fact that Caitlyn and think that's not the comparison that she made, or something else you said. It was really profound. I'm gonna think of it later, and I'll talk to y'all about it tonight. But I'm gonna get out of here. Y'all already know. Mad love, Mike.
Right.
I'm gonna pass it off to you.
Residente tapping out for the lunchbox.
Word up, brother. For shizzle.
What up, Mike?
Be good.
What up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. It's
Foes up.
Friday.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, my dog?
That check-in.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy I get to actually probably watch a close basketball game tonight.
You know what? I feel the same way.
Hopefully.
I'm actually intrigued. Hopefully. Seriously, though, I can't watch that goofy shit that happened in game one. That shit was some goofball scripted shit. I'm cool. Like, I mean, to me, it hurt the moment.
So Cowboy
because,
Mike,
like,
correct me if I'm wrong. My bad. Go ahead, finish. I'll let you finish.
Yeah. I was gonna say that I feel like Reggie Miller, when he did that shit, it was organic. Like you can't come back and do the same shit I did. Like that, you gotta be. That's why these niggas not great, because they want to copy somebody else shit. You gotta create your own moment. When Jordan turned around in Game 6 against the Jazz with fading with the left and did the fist bump, that was his shit. You know what I'm saying? When Iverson stepped over that nigga Tyronn Lue, that was a moment. You can't recreate that shit. You know, I don't like that type of shit. It's goofy to me.
Yeah.
It's like some Disney. It's like some Disney ass shit. I'm cool.
So my question to you, Cowboy Mike, can you remind me who you said had the best roster in the NBA?
Who did I say? Did I say Minnesota?
No, that was Coach that said Minnesota.
Yeah. Well, it might have been the Knicks then. Yeah.
Okay, it was Coach.
Coach.
It might
Coach
have,
was
I
the
don't
one
make sure.
banging the, Coach
Yeah,
was the one
I think it
banging
was
the drum
either.
from Minnesota, and we were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, I like Minnesota roster. I don't think that Coach was right. I thought we were comparing rosters. I didn't think we were actually saying who had the better roster overall, like in the NBA in
No,
general.
I just thought that you was
that's
the one who
what we
said
were
that the
responding to.
Timberwolves had the best roster, but it was Coach. So never mind.
That's what we were responding to because
Coach wild out with that shit.
Yeah, he was in the comments saying that, and then I guess eventually he got mad and joined us, and we were trying to explain to him like, no, like Minnesota might, out of the 4 teams that's left, you know what I'm saying, you could argue Minnesota might be 3rd and they might be 4th.
Yeah,
So
I think that the Pacers have the potential to have a really good roster. Like even Neesmith, like he balled out. I mean, I still can't believe he could do the shit he's doing right now in Boston. Maybe he didn't get the opportunity, but it's like, you know, Turner's playing well. TJ McConnell, which I knew would play well. He always played well against Jalen Brunson. You know, like so Obi Toppin, like, they have a lot of players that really can hoop. Nembhard, you know what I'm saying? Like these guys got a lot of players. Matherin, as far like, you know, he's one of the most talented guy. I you know, in my eyes, but he don't even get that many minutes anymore. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Yeah.
No, I think that Minnesota. So like this is where you can say something, and you could have 2 different conversations. Like Minnesota might have the best, what's the word I'm looking for? Constructed roster as far as the way that they play. Yeah,
definitely.
You know, but they're not a collection of the best players.
No, because I mean, good. Look at Rudy. I literally at tag coaching the joint was like, bro, Rudy put up 2 points and 3 rebounds.
Right.
This nigga you said is better than Mitchell. Mitchell only played 20 something. I think he played 25 minutes. He had 2 points, 8 rebounds.
Well,
so imagine he played 30 some minutes. He would have had at least maybe 6 and like 11 or 12 rebounds. Like, come on, man. They're not even comparable in my eyes. Like Rudy, and watch Rudy come back around and turn like like game 4, he'll have like 20 and 25 or some wild shit. Like,
well here's a question: Is Rudy just not a good player, or is it possible that he's not on a team that he functions with?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But I think that's what the same thing with the Jazz. I just think that he's like Zach Edey. Like they don't the style of play that they want to play is not conducive to what his style of play. I think, you know, I don't think that he's athletic enough to be like a lob guy, like a Capella or somebody like in that vein. But you know, I think he's effective. I just think his game has gotten worse. I think they realize like he can't guard the pick and roll. You know, certainly they see the holes in his game for the most part. But if they feature him enough, again, it's like the same thing I feel about Mobley. If you feature him enough, he's gonna play better. Then he's out there just not getting no touches, no nothing. So it's like, how do you hoop? You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been on teams like that where I was like the 4th guy, and I just had to just get it out. I played defense really well. You know, I got the ball when I stole the ball, I'm not giving it to nobody. Fuck out of here. I don't care if it's 3-on-1. I don't care if I'm not passing your niggas the ball. I'm just like, you know that shit. I'm taking that shit to the cup.
I honestly feel like
on the outlet. I'm taking that shit. I'm taking it all the way to the cup.
I honestly don't think there's any excuse for Rudy Gobert, because when I look at guys like Steven Adams, I mean, he make that shit work.
You're right, bro. Guys like, you 100% right, bro.
When I look at guys like dude who played for he was a Magic and then he was a Bull, white dude,
Vucevic.
He, even though that nigga soft in the hole, he make that shit work sometimes when he be on the floor.
Soft in the hole is wild.
My bad. That was kind of crazy.
Unexpectedly crazy too.
Cup said you don't never see him naturally rise.
No, for real.
Yo, you have to clip these Jones up. This shit is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, no, he do need the extra boost. He do need
No,
a battery in his back. He do
but
need a
bro,
battery in his back. Rising
you
the
were
cake.
so right when you said that shit. I didn't even catch it 2-5 quarter. You was
That's
like
crazy.
soften the hole. I didn't.
That's crazy. I'm sorry. My bad. Hey yo.
You was cooking so well. I didn't even catch that shit.
Hey yo. But
Well,
yeah,
even-
no,
even a
but
dude like, but even a dude like Kevon Looney, right? He isn't that good of a player, you know, outside of the role that he provides.
Mhm.
But you know, but he at least looks confident. Like when he grabs the rebound, he goes right up, or you know, he tries to make a play. Like Rudy will grab the rebound, and
Bruh.
if he's
And
open,
smoke
like
the
if
lane.
there's nobody there, he'll put it back. But if not, he looks like he never played basketball in his life.
Literally. He'll grab that shit and be looking around like, who'd I pass? Like, just play hot potato.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
like
go back up with the jump.
first of all, keep the ball up. Like
Yeah. You 7'4", nigga. What the fuck are you doing?
I just think it the defensive player of the year is just like really fucking boosted what he was supposed to be. And it was like he was never really a bucket. Like I don't think he's averaged more than maybe 14 or 17 in his career.
Well, because they've never the MVP, I mean the defensive player of the year award is skewed towards blocks.
Yep.
You know, so if you get blocks, you can get some nomination, and it's like, well, you're supposed to get blocks. Like, you know, you're the tallest dude on the court.
Come on, man. And then most of the time you playing off ball. So a lot of his blocks are like a guy that's getting, you know, that's guarding him. He's coming from for the help defense. He blocking the shot. He's not blocking the shot when I'm guarding you.
His
And he's
You know,
really
it's very
on
rare
the
to see him
line.
block somebody's shot.
His career
And
high
he was
is
defensive player of the
for a
year,
season.
lead in blocks. Yeah. No, he scored 15.
Wow.
He scored 15 one time.
His career high is 15.9.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's never, and
And
all
he-
his defensive
actually,
player of the
he's
year,
got
he's
a
never
top
led the
10.
league in blocks.
He actually has a top 10 MVP finish.
I'm
Insane.
looking at-
Insane. Yeah, I don't know. I just think his game has gotten worse.
Damn,
And
he's already
again,
been in the league 12 years.
crazy, right? Time be flying, yo.
Yeah.
Time be flying. I'm like, yo, it's, wow. He definitely got to, you know, I think they got to feature him more, you know. Like, I don't even know if he can shoot. Like, I don't even know what his form looks like. Like, I've never seen him take a jump shot.
Nah, he can't
Like,
shoot.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Like,
But that's what I said. Like when we were talking about this series at first, when I picked OKC to win, I was like, yo, like by the end of this series, I don't think Rudy's going to be able to play.
yeah, I feel you.
And you
And
know,
they're-
they didn't play Randall in the fourth quarter hardly last night.
Yeah, Randall looked like pure shit. You know, 91% of the of the bets went on Randall to go over 20 points. And that Vegas made that call. Like, nah, nigga, not tonight.
Nigga said Vegas made the call.
Vegas made the call, yo.
2 for 11.
Dog, insane. Over 4 for 3. I'm like, I can just look. I told you what OG. I can tell he was selling, bro. When this man went for the layup on the fast break and missed that shot, oh yeah, this nigga is definitely selling, dog.
So Minnesota has a problem that I didn't think about until last night. And I don't want to sound disrespectful by any means because I love this guy. But they need something other than Mike Conley.
You know, I think we talked about this mid-season. It's Rob.
It is, but now, but since you didn't play him, it's kind of too late to insert him at this point.
I think so.
Pause.
I think so. Yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
yo.
For sure.
You know, you can't play him because you know now, like you're turning the keys over to an inexperienced dude that, you know, like against this team at least, you know, what I mean, that is forcing all these turnovers and scoring off the turnovers.
Facts.
So I think Mike Conley does provide a certain stability, but with his age and lack of athleticism and things like that, you're kind of turning Anthony Edwards into the point guard, you know, which is wearing him down, and he's not able to necessarily just freelance and get shots.
Good analysis.
I agree, 100%. And I think that was the problem last year, getting worn down. So like you starting to see like the effects of it within this series, But I look at Mike Conley as a cone. Like he's another one. I think that he's a short guard. The NBA is not built like that no more. For you, like you have to be really, really fast, which he was at one point. But he's not the answer in my opinion. Like
right.
I would insert him. I would put the player in the game for
Hey,
Raw.
yeah.
I mean, I'm down 2-0. Shit. Why not put the nigga in the game?
Well, what stood out to me last night was that OKC played that game as if they were down 0-1.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or as if they were down 3-2 and you got to win this game when you going home, because there wasn't a lot of Isaiah Joe last night.
Nope.
No, you didn't see the other J-Dub. Like they just kept it to like 7 or 8 dudes and was like, you know, so I think that bodes bad for Minnesota, because in game 3, if you need Isaiah Joe or somebody like Wiggins or somebody, they're fresh.
Mm-hmm. Like yesterday was like Chet Holmgren played the most minutes I've seen him play in a while.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So to your point, you know, I'm like, yeah, they definitely had a game plan. Like, nah, we gonna take this one. You know, so that's what I'm saying. I think Minnesota has to at this point. And like Nas Reed, like I said, Gobert, I think Nas Reed got to start. Like put Gobert on the bench, start Rob, start Reed, because you have to shake it up. You can't just let this, you know, the series just go. I remember one time in Indiana when they played against the Bulls, and I think they inserted Travis Best. Pause. I'm wild. They put Travis Best in the game.
Hey yo.
They put Travis Best in the game for Mark Jackson because Mark Jackson was this old at this point. Mark ended up, you know, he ended up playing more the fourth quarter, but they put him in earlier just to shake it up. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew what was going to happen. Like, you got to a point where, you know, they could see the writing was on the wall. He wasn't as effective as, you know, as he had been throughout the season in his career. You know, they played Jalen Rose more, I think. You know, they should have played him more in that game 7, but they didn't. You know, but
they might need to get some Terrence Shannon out there too.
Maybe. Again, we've said this, I think, you know, Mr. Logical broke it down a lot more, you know. He had a really good perspective on it. It was like they gotta play the young guys more. Like those guys are not getting the minutes that I think they need to kind of keep, you know, a team in a certain space.
Well, that's why when you look at a guy like you brought up Nesmith earlier, you know, you bring up somebody like him, it's kind of hard to get on the floor when you got Tatum and Brown in front of you, right? But
yeah,
you know, but there's games where you were load managing, or that, you know, somebody had 3 fouls early and you kept them in the game just because of who they are.
Fact.
Like there's and just like when OKC played Denver, right? Like all year long, I've been screaming, "Where's Julian Strawther?"
Facts.
You know what I mean? And then
Facts.
you played him and he scored something like 19 points in 15 minutes.
Yeah. It was crazy. I was like, yo, this dude like, the whole year? Like, this nigga definitely should have gotten the game more.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Especially, but that's the thing, right? Because somebody like, I'm not saying what you think I'm saying, Cups. Somebody like Brody, right? Will come up in there and go 2 for 9, and you're gonna leave him on the floor because he's a vet.
Tough.
Like he'll find his way back. No, he won't.
No, or Michael Porter. Like you can easily, you know, put him in the game other than Michael Porter. Like you just watching him just die out there. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Right. So now they got questions to answer. You know, like I was trying to think about it the other day. I was like, if you're Denver, do you call Houston, try to get a hold of that number 10? But I'm like, I don't even know what Denver got that Houston would want.
Yeah, for real. At this point, I wouldn't see Michael Porter going to play with Golden State.
Now that would be legit.
I can really see him, you know, the style of play, and they need a guy like him to play opposite Jimmy Butler.
Right.
More than a Buddy. You know, I think I still keep Buddy in this role. I probably put him on the bench. But you put Michael Porter Jr. with that team, shit.
Right.
To play the weak side, you know what I'm saying? I might put him at the 4.
Right. You know,
I think he's a better Clay at this point, you know. He don't shoot as well as Clay, but
Michael Porter play basketball.
I feel you know.
Yeah, that's the problem though, because you know, even if they were to make a move like that, Draymond's a year older.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know if you want him to have to play the 5 the whole time.
Now I'm gonna put Looney back in. I'm getting rid of Draymond personally. I want to try to figure out a way to get Jordan Poole back. That's what I would do.
That would be nuts. Hold up, wait. Don't you wish that evil on me, Ricky Bobby?
I need to think about that shit.
I had to think about that for a second. Like, hold up.
That's for me though. I mean, I feel like in that system he fit too well. Pause. Damn wild. Damn.
We had to
You on one today, Cowboy Mike. It's getting a little wild today in the hot box.
Hey, so if that were to happen, if that were to happen, we would need to buy Draymond out, and he would need to go home to Detroit.
Yep. I can see it. Like an easy buyout too.
Yeah, and you know, give Detroit that championship edge or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, with him, I think with him and those young guys and Ivy coming back. Shit, you man, that'd be crazy.
So you think that Ivy and Cunningham are a good combo?
I think so. I think Ivy does a good job of, and I watched him a lot, especially even when they was losing. I think Cunningham has taken that team to the point where he is the go-to guy now, especially in the fourth. He's taking over more now. But Ivy does a really good job in the first and second quarter when Cade sits down. It's like he kind of knows, like, okay, even that rotation, you know, I didn't see that rotation a lot because he got hurt, maybe like 10 games of the year.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like last year. He does a really good job of, you know, picking it up when Cade is on the bench. He's not a guy that I feel like needs a lot of shots. He's like a Lou Williams to me. He's like really efficient. You know what I'm saying? Like he really is an athletic type guy. I hope he still got that athleticism. You know what I'm saying? He played good defense too. He don't need a whole lot of shots to, you know what I'm saying, to be effective, I feel like.
Is there any team out there that is going to help Philly out and take Paul George?
I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not the Bulls. I can see us doing some clown shit. I'm telling you, bro. I can see us doing some clown ass shit and getting Paul George.
I'm sorry, Cowboy Mike. I like Paul George to Chicago, to Chi-Town.
No, bro. No.
To replace DeRozan? Yeah, mid-range guy. Yeah.
I like Paul George in that Michael Porter conversation.
Okay. Okay.
Put Paul George in Denver.
Okay.
But I also think that
with Russ still there or Russ gone?
No, I think Russ will be gone.
Yeah, me too.
I just don't know what you do with Jamal Murray though.
You had to let Murray go. I don't think you keep Murray. Like, cause like you said, they don't have any assets. So I mean, you gonna give a bunch of draft picks away? Like, I mean, they don't have assets at all. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
I don't know, man. I think I like Trae Young and Kuminga in Brooklyn.
To go with what big man? Claxton?
Hey, they got 95 million. We'll figure it out.
Not Claxton.
I'm just saying, they're gonna hey, look, no, for real. Fuck with me. Trae Young, Kuminga, Cam Johnson. I think they might still got Dinwiddie over there.
They still got Cam Johnson. No, Dinwiddie's in Dallas.
All right.
Cam Johnson,
Trae Young, Kuminga,
Cam Thomas,
and wait, DeAndre Ayton.
Okay. I didn't see that one coming. Pause. I'm wild. Damn.
Hey,
maybe.
I'm in that Brooklyn Black. You know what I'm saying? Did he get the max with the Blazers? Or isn't he having a contract dispute right now?
I think he is.
I think DeAndre Ayton might be a free agent.
He is on a 4-year, 132. You know,
did he sign that when he got traded? I know which one they want to give him the money.
I thought he got it from Phoenix. But he is a free agent after next season.
After next season, okay.
So I mean that's valuable though. He's on an expiring contract.
Yeah, but it's and you already seen Klingon when he get minutes, bro.
Yeah,
rebounding machine.
But that's what I'm saying. You bring Ayton in. If it don't work, you just let him walk.
That's it.
Come on, bro.
But they got $95 million to play with. They could do something.
Yeah, I thought they're gonna be active. I think this time.
Or how about this? Instead of Trey, LaMelo.
Mm.
Put LaMelo in Brooklyn.
Box office.
I like that.
Box office.
I like that.
And like I keep saying, not only do they have the 95 million, they got 5 picks in the top 36 of this draft.
Man, they would have could build a team with this situation they in for sure.
Yeah,
but will they contend in the East?
I mean, not for what, 2 years, 3 years, maybe. I mean,
yeah, about 2-3 years. Depends on who they get though.
Well, if that's the case, then why not try and ship talent to the Blazers with a Hall of Fame head coach?
But the good news is that we already know the East ain't shit next year.
Because Tatum gonna be hurt. Brown
Tatum's out. So you got the Knicks and the Pacers, those two. You got
Will Giannis stay?
Yeah, will Giannis stay? And even if he does, what they gonna put around him? Tatum's out.
Orlando may make a splash, like you've been teasing.
Yeah, Orlando needs another guard. Miami, ain't doing nothing.
Nah, hell no, they done.
The Bulls are still whatever they are.
Just figuring it out.
The Hawks still the Hawks. Embiid, what's his status? And you know what I mean? Like, you're probably moving Paul George anyway. So, like, what's Philly? So, like, I mean, not saying that Brooklyn's going to climb into the top 4 or anything like that, but
they got a chance.
Make some moves and see what happens. Like, this is the year to do it.
Facts. I definitely agree. But I hope Kuminga sign with us. Fuck everybody else.
The team that I'm confused about is Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto.
Very shout out to Grady. I ain't gonna say the AO part, but shout out to Grady.
Shout out to Grady. No, shout out to Grady though. Grady hoop. I never liked Scotty Barnes ever though. I feel like Scotty Barnes was just like a guy.
Scotty Barnes, face of league.
But
I just don't see it.
I just don't understand their lineup because you got Quickly at the point.
Maple Mamba.
You got RJ Barrett, and then you brought in BI.
Yeah, like that was strange. I like, what the hell? What the hell?
You got Scotty
What
Barnes.
the hell,
What the hell,
You got Scotty Barnes. You got Jakob Poeltl. Then off the bench, you got Jamal Shed, who I like a lot. You got Grady. But then I'm just like, I don't even know, because just in that starting lineup alone, like, remember we were talking about like George Pickens and DK Metcalf, they're gonna fight. Like, that's how I feel about RJ and BI.
Yeah, seriously.
Come on, bro.
They're the same player, just different height.
Literally.
They do got Brandon Ingram now. He was just hurt when he got traded. That's crazy.
Yeah, and they both went to do.
I don't understand what they're trying to do.
Me either. They may make a play for Kawhi. Who knows?
Unless you trade RJ, or because they already paid Quickly.
Yeah. Bear might be on his way out.
He would have to be, I think.
I would think so. I mean, you bring BI, and it's like he could be the leader scorer. And Barry got the crazy green light. He'd be shooting that shit anytime he feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
So Toronto is a team. Where they weren't as bad as Charlotte nor the Wizards.
They were right there, but they ended up, I believe, with the 9th pick.
Damn, the 9th pick. That shit crazy.
Yeah.
So how do y'all feel like what would it take for Boston to get back? Well, not to stay where they are, but do you think it's time to tear it down or experiment with people outside of the 2 main guys that we have?
I mean, for me, we know, like I said, we know Tatum gonna be out. I'm interested to see how Jaylen Brown is gonna carry the whole team. Like, you have to keep Derek White there. If Derek White leaves, then they're definitely gonna be in a rebuild.
Well, he's in Warrior rumors right now.
He is. You know, I think San
I mean,
Antonio wants him back too.
Because I mean, naturally, anytime, like if you ask anybody inside of any organization, they'll be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, the goal right now is to win a championship. Do you think we try and field a championship team or try and, you know what I'm saying, whether that is making moves in free agency or making moves in trades, or do you think we stay put, play our young guys, McDavidson, JD Davison, Jordan Walsh, Peyton Pritchard, you know what I'm saying, play those guys valuable minutes and see what we have and see if it's time, you know, or do you think we try and still make moves to see if we can still contend because we still got, even if we do get rid of Holiday and KP?
I just think the cap wise, like you paying those guys an astronomical amount of bread. That's like almost $1 billion, if I'm not mistaken, close to. You know, so it's like that. Like, who are you gonna sign? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I think your idea of playing the young guys might work. You know, sprinkling maybe a couple of veterans signing, whatever you get back in that KP or Holiday trade. But you have to keep Derek White, in my opinion. Like, he's the key. I'm definitely gonna keep Derek White.
I think that there's a couple of things going on. Like if it were me, I would try to move Jaylen Brown and see what I could get. But I think realistically, because teams don't tend to, you know, overreact in that way. I think that you got to move Holiday and Porzingis, you know, just to get the money off the books.
Yep.
And then you could start filling in with good, decent, mid-level players. So, like, for example, right, if I were to let Drew Holiday go, and, you know, here you go, Mike, I'm giving a shout out to your boy, you know, saying if I was to move Drew Holiday, maybe I try to get Jaden Hardy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Jaden Hardy's my guy for sure.
Yeah, because now I'm trying to build for when Tatum gets back. Now I got, instead of letting the year go by without really doing much, Tatum's coming back, and then I got to be like, all right, Tatum's back. Let me try to get a team together.
Yeah.
Why not try to establish a core now if you're going to keep Jaylen Brown, so that when Tatum steps right back in, you know, we could be in that conversation again. Because like we keep talking about it, the East is whack, and I forget, and I feel disrespectful because when we were talking about that a few minutes ago, we didn't even say Cleveland. But
damn, forgot about Cleveland. just that quick though.
Forgot all about
that quick. 60-win team. We ain't mentioning them niggas.
Right. So like if you're Boston, the East might be bad enough that as long as Jaylen Brown doesn't shit the bed,
facts, dog,
you might be able to finish as the 4 seed.
Yep. Definitely.
And you know what I mean? So I don't think you need to blow it up, but maybe you just get a little bit younger. So replace Drew Holiday with a Jaden Hardy type dude. You know, replace Porzingis with like a, not necessarily this exact player, but like a Mitchell Robinson type dude. Because you're probably going to lose Horford as well. He's probably going to retire.
He retired. Yeah, I think so.
You know what I mean? So I think you do the best that you can, and then you evaluate Tatum at the end of the year. Going into next season, you go, we got our guy back. This is how he looks. Let us go get one more piece that'll put us back in there.
Like, I probably would go get Marcus Smart, even though it probably would be frowned upon. But
that's hilarious.
I would go get him because he fits the culture. Even though he may be a couple years removed, you know, from being a defensive player of the year on that type of status, but he's still familiar with the guys. Because again, I look at it like when Jordan left and Pippen was the guy. You know, Tony played more minutes, Steve Kerr played more minutes. So I see Pritchard playing way more minutes. You know, him starting. You know, so I think you just got to become a different team. You know what I'm saying? And like, just stop shooting me fucking threes, bro. That shit is just dumb as hell at this point. Like, Missoula, that shit worked one time, my nigga. Like, that shit is not working. Like, you got guys that shooting threes that shouldn't be shooting threes. You know, so that's what I would do. I really would go get, somebody I know I can trust, and a Marcus Smart, pair him with Pritchard. I'm starting Pritchard though. I'm letting Marcus know, like, my nigga, you had a green light when you said before, but nah, we need you to play complimentary basketball.
But let's
go, see how far you can take us.
Let's walk this out for a second, though. Let's just say this Derek White to the Warrior thing happens. Who do you get back in return?
Exactly. That's why I don't think it's gonna happen. They don't have anybody really that you would want. Who? Jackson Davis?
It's not Kuminga. He the same nigga unless we take Pudiginski.
Yeah. And he off and on, dog.
Padutsky. What my nigga Aaron Palmer be saying? Padutsky.
Maybe you can hope that Gary Payton is can be the young Drew Holiday.
The glove.
Gary Payton he's just too small to me. But yeah, Steve Kerr had this nigga starting the 5, bro. That's why, bro. Steve Kerr don't know what the fuck he doing, and I keep saying it every year. Like Steve Kerr can't coach. I firmly believe he just can't coach.
Or do you call your boy out in Utah and say, "Give me something"?
Not Utah. Who we gonna take?
Walker Kessler?
Colin Sexton?
Maybe
or Lauren Marketing?
No, I don't think you want to go for Laurie because you're trying to get rid of money. So I don't know if you're trying to bring Laurie in, but
okay,
he's like a healthy KP.
I like Kessler though. He can hoop.
Yeah, maybe a Walker Kessler. Maybe like Cups brought up Colin Sexton. I'm not really a Colin Sexton guy, but
Colin can hoop too.
But he'll get buckets.
He definitely get buckets, bro.
Maybe a young dude like Keontae George.
Oh yeah, for sure. He can score too.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like
maybe John Collins?
Or
I'm absolutely joking.
Yeah,
John Collins can play too though.
But how about the ultimate Boston Celtic though? Filipowski.
We already got Sam Hauser.
Not Flip Pussy. Oh my god.
Yeah, so like you do what? Walker Kessler, Filipowski, and maybe a pick or two.
Mm-hmm.
And you get a Porzingis. Or I don't think you want to send Drew Holiday there, but
that mean it might be a buyout situation.
Yeah, it might be a buyout situation. Yeah. I don't know.
It'd be interesting for sure, to say the least.
But Utah definitely didn't finish where they wanted to in this lottery. You know what I mean? So, there might be because Danny Ainge's got to do something. Like Utah isn't necessarily obviously a desired location, but those fans love the Jazz. You know what I mean? And you got to give them a reason to keep coming to the games.
Mm-hmm. Have to.
But
they got to build around somebody.
My real question is, and I hate to ask it, but I did it. I did it to the wagons. I got to do it to my own team. Is Joe Mazzulla the right coach for the Boston Celtics?
I think this year will show us is he the right coach because he had to reinvent himself again. I think he did a good job of bringing up y'all young guys, getting them confident and playing better. But I think he should have fully committed to that. Like he still was letting Holiday go out there, knowing he not Captain Drew like that no more. He's still playing over too many minutes.
30 minutes, 4 points, Drew Holiday.
Bruh, trust the guys that been playing with you all year. So like that's what I feel like he should have did. I think he should have tripled down and was like, nah, we're gonna start Pritchard. We're gonna put Hornet in more. So like those guys earn their spots. I like the fact Mazzulla brought them along, but I don't believe in all them threes. So I want to see him adjust a game. I like him as a coach though. I think he's gritty. I think he's fiery enough to inspire those guys, but I think he needs to just fully commit to it. I think he's still acting like he's the interim guy. He's like, my nigga, you the coach.
He's becoming Mike Tomlin to me.
I can see it. I can see company man. I can see it. That shit, I told y'all that shit never works, fam. And again, I put myself in. I used to be a company man to a certain extent. Just being honest with y'all, like that shit don't fucking work
now. Yeah, bro.
Like that shit. When I came into my own and started being myself, that's when I started excelling. When I was in that joint, hey, laughing at the boss joke, hey boss, how you doing, nigga? No,
fuck out of here.
That shit don't work. Them niggas threw me under the bus like a fool. I was the first one to throw under the bus.
Hey.
He threw me under the bus like a fool. Come on, dog. Come on,
I was the first one. First one they threw under the bus. I'm the one working all the late hours, and I'll do it. Yes, sir. I got it. Yeah, I take care of it. Yeah. Man, fuck all that shit. Now I start saying, hell no, I ain't doing that shit. So I start getting some motherfucking respect. Just being honest, you know what I'm saying? Just being honest. I just do it my way. Now I'm doing like this. You just got to be a man. When you don't know the land, so you just want to play everything cool and make everybody feel good. That shit don't work. Niggas look at you like a fool. They respect the man when a man come in the room. So I had to just step into my manhood. That's it. And I was real young at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know no better.
All right, let's beam me up cups on the share screen there.
Okay.
All right, let me zoom in on this so we can see this a little bit better.
Word.
Let me see. No, that still ain't working. Let me see. Give me a second here. Let's go 175.
Free agent tracker. Okay. All right. I like it.
See how this looks. All right. So here's some free agents. So I don't know. Like maybe Boston could get a Steven Adams, but they might play a little too fast for him.
Could be.
I'd take Bagley.
Okay.
On purpose?
Yeah, on purpose. Fuck it.
Okay. Maybe a guy like Nikhil Walker or Alexander Walker.
Yeah. I like Alexander Walker. From even preseason when he's easily playing. I'm just happy he getting way more burn.
Take on a project.
Imani
Take
Bates
on a project.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Oh, shout out to my dog Bismack Biombo, dog.
He's still in the league?
Yeah. Shout out my nigga Bismack. What we talking about?
Bismack did play, I think, for the Suns a couple years ago, if I'm mistaken.
Hey, I think a team should take a chance on Imani Bates. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta pay him. You ain't gotta pay him a lot,
bro. Man, Bates remind me of Michael Beasley, bro. He can play, but it's like, can he play on a team though?
Right.
I don't. It's like, he just giving me like Kenny Lofton vibes. Like, dog, like what's wrong? Like, you see the nigga play? He played well. If he was not a good team, guys, he's like he don't understand concepts or like what's holding him back.
What about a Bruce Brown?
I like Bruce Brown.
Not on the Celtics, no.
Yeah, there's John. Oh, there's John Collins. He's a free agent.
Oh, is he? Come on to Chicago, please, John Collins. We need a nice forward to be in that role because Patrick Williams and Vucevic have to go.
Clint Capella.
Y'all can take Vucevic off our hands.
I see Clint Capella right there.
We probably want to ask y'all for nothing bad. We was going to probably some draft picks or some shit.
I forgot Andre Drummond was still in the league.
He was hooping for Philly last year too.
Oh,
I like Paul Reed. He went to Detroit and just became nobody.
I know. Oh, Keon Ellis.
I'm about to say the same shit. I don't know.
I like Keon Ellis. Dorian Finney-Smith.
Another one
from the Lakers.
Yeah, he went to the Lakers and became a bum.
Well, he bring defense if nothing else.
Yeah, he can.
Shout out to Markelle Fultz.
What happened to Markelle Fultz, bro?
I don't know. He was playing well in Orlando. Philly. I don't know why they let him go.
Yeah, did he go to Sacramento? I think.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Quentin Grimes out there.
I like Quentin Grimes too. He can hoop.
14 points.
He can hoop.
Tim Hardaway Jr.
I like Tim Hardaway Jr.
The beard is a free
definitely
agent.
Can shoot the three. So shit, he might be one of them guys y'all need to pick up. I hope we keep Kevin Huerter though. Like Kevin Huerter showed me a lot last year. We gonna have the white boys in full effect. Huerter, Montes, Giddey.
Yeah.
I like our nucleus with Kobe White. We had to just get rid of Patrick Williams.
Knowing Boston, they might get Ty Jerome.
They might.
Bro, imagine him and Pritchard on the same squad.
I like it.
They can't play at the same time.
No. No, everybody was scoring on their ass. But
I mean, shit. Ty Jerome already come off the bench.
Yeah, he'd be good. I like Ty Jerome, though. He won me a lot of money for sure.
Luke Kennard, you know what I'm saying? Sharpshooter.
Luke Kennard. Shout out to Luke Kennard. Another Dookie.
Bobby Portis, but you had to pay him, though.
Yeah, you got to pay Bobby. bro. I want Bobby to come back to the Bulls.
I wouldn't be mad at the Bobby Portis. I wouldn't be mad at the Bobby Portis. Wouldn't be mad at that.
We had him. He punched the nigga in the face. Was it Nocioni? Who was he punching in the face?
Damn.
Yeah, who was that?
Me and Raph looked it up the other Mirotic.
Mirotic, yeah, his sorry ass. I hated Mirotic's fucking ass, man. We ended up keeping Mirotic and letting Bobby Portis walk. I said, this is some stupid shit.
Look at this.
He was out the league in like 2 years after that.
Minnesota got a national champion point guard on their roster.
Tristan Newton, shout out. Larry Nance, shout out.
Even giving no minutes.
True.
Ooh, what about a Davion Mitchell?
He did show out for Miami this year. He balled on Trae Young. I'll give him that.
I was surprised. I didn't think he was that good. I just think he needed a shot.
Maybe take a flyer.
He hooped on Trae Young.
He'd be done not to bring him back.
Would the Bulls be willing to take a flyer on Chris Middleton?
Yes.
Chris
97 MJ for sure.
Chris Midman.
Bro, go look. I know y'all already know this already, but go look at this nigga Clinton's tapes like 2 years ago. The nigga looked like 97 Jordan. No bullshit.
Hey, shout out to
he had the midi going, bro. He was shooting threes. Look like mid ranges. Like, yo, this nigga crazy, yo.
I can see.
Are these still free agents? We need Naz Reid.
I can see y'all getting a Dwight Powell.
Dwight Powell. You think he's leaving the man?
A veteran? Yeah, a veteran.
Yeah, I think he's leaving.
Okay. He's the longest tenure.
He only got a few years.
Duncan
left.
Robb.
Yeah.
He can replace Sam Hauser right now.
Y'all might go after Gafford, I think.
Yeah.
I think Gafford might be the most reasonable person.
Yeah, I think he's going to get traded.
Me too. It's options, dog. I'm telling you. It's gonna be a quick little couple moves. You draft well in this zone. You might be all right. I think that whoever gonna be our draft pick is gonna play significant minutes too. Off the pine.
There you go, Cups.
Cam Thomas.
Cam Thomas, bro, a bucket. I hope he comes to Chicago. But I hope Chicago see all these guys like, bro, please sign somebody.
I wonder. Oh, Gary Trent might be a good pickup for the Celtics.
Gary Trent can hoop too. Another Dookie. Damn, all these Dookies.
I like Gary Trent.
I wonder if who were we just talking about? I had a thought and I lost it real quick.
Well, look, guys, I got to roll. I see y'all tonight.
All right, my brother. Yeah, man, we don't reach that goddamn 1 hour, 17-minute mark in this here Friday lunchbox. We appreciate any and everybody who came through to smoke with the gang. You already know I have my dog. He goes by many names, but we call him the one Mike Pod. My dog, Cowboy Mike, DJ Mike P, Dakota Mike. Throw the motherfucking foes up. Representing on the ones and twos. And you already know I have my dog, one half of Sports Reports, as ordered. The loose quarter 2-5. Mike Will representing live in the motherfucking building.
Hook 'em horns.
Like I said, man, y'all can catch the gang every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Y'all can catch us again tonight for the Friday Smoke Fest. Look, we letting the windows down. We letting the smoke out, man. But above all else, fuck Aaron Rodgers. Fuck Kevin Durant. And fuck Rudy Gobert, man. Catch us tonight for the Friday Smoke Fest, man. Smoke with us next time, and fuck Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, and I got one more. Submission.
Time. Go ahead.
Fuck
Here
Jimmy
we go.
Garoppolo.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, fuck Jimmy.
For sure.
I never liked.
Me either. I never liked Jimmy.
Bootleg ass George Clooney.
Fuck Jimmy. Hell yeah, for sure.
Look like
Smoke with us next time.